Alright, I'm going to show you how to turn your flower kit that you purchase into these gorgeous flowers. Alright, so the slight difference between these two is this one has the last layer, alright, and this one doesn't. So the last layer is optional. If you're doing a flower bouquet, I recommend some of them you put the last layer on and some of them you don't. Okay, and that gives it a bit of a variation in your bouquet. Other things that you will need, you're going to need glue. For this, I recommend using, if you've got both glue, the glue stick and the wet glue. They work best on certain parts of the gluing stage. However, you can use whichever one works for you. All right. And to curl the petals, you're going to need something skinny and round. I prefer to use just a round chopstick like this. Otherwise, you can use a pen, that will work as well. Okay. And the toothpick comes in handy if you're planning on turning this into a bouquet, just to poke the hole in there and to ensure the what do you call it? The hole. So the hole is in place, all aligned, so you can actually put the floristry wire in between later on before the glue sets. Okay. Otherwise, if you're just displaying in a vase, you don't need that. Okay. So let's get started, and you'll need a piece of paper to, if you're using the wet glue. Okay. So we're going to do. So when you receive them, you'll receive them in layers. So just carefully remove layer by layer. They should all be ready for you to piece together from smallest to largest. So the first one, we're going to do pink one. So the first one is just curling. So the one petal, curl that in. Okay. And this is where we're going to use a bit of wet glue. So just use a scrap paper, squeeze some wet glue on. This can be craft glue or anything. Okay, so to roll, I find it easier just to use to roll it on the chopstick. Okay, and then just glue that end bit there. So I don't get my fingers dirty. You can use the toothpick or cotton bud or a little paintbrush or just a little stick or something and give it a nice squeeze and let that settle, let that dry. And this one, give a little roll, the ends. Okay, so roll this in. Again, just use your finger, curl it in as much as you can. Okay. And again, so with this, don't put the glue right to the end because you want to leave a little bit hanging out. So just put glue on the inside as much as possible, and then use your finger, stick your finger in there, give it a little push. Okay, let's glue that bit together. Now the third layer, so with this, I put slightly off alignment, okay, again leaving the end bit unglued, but if you want to, you can just align it together so the petals completely overlap. Alright, so here you can use either glue, doesn't matter. So just a bit on the inside. Oops. Whoopsie. Little off center. Okay. Now the rest of these, let's just move this aside for a sec. So the rest of these I find the glue stick to work best. But you can use the wet glue, totally up to you. Just glue that. And here, just make sure the petals all align. Okay. Alright, so the last one is, as I said, is optional. So if you're going to use it, then you glue that one as well. Otherwise, you can throw that out or cut up the petals and use it as a confetti. Okay. Now we're going to curl the, what do you call it? The petals. Okay. So to curl that, take the third piece and just give it roll that backward a little. Now if you don't have something, what do you call it, like a pen or a stick or something like this to roll it with, you can even use, I think, your scissors and just like pretend, you know, you're curling a, what do you call it, a ribbon. That works as well. Okay. But find whatever works for you, and it's really just roll, or you're just trying to curl the petals together till it's a nice curl. And you do that for all of them except for the last layer. Okay. So you're rolling from basically the tip of the petal and roll that back. Okay. Until it has a nice curl. Right. Okay, so with the last one, we don't do that. So last one, we're going to roll the two ends together. Okay, so it's going to be sort of like this. All right, so rather than from the, instead of doing this, we're going to roll the two ends. So the easiest way is to flip it upside down and then roll one way and then roll the other way. Okay, from the sides, not from the top, the tip. Okay, so just do it again till you get a nice curl. And this is why we cut a little bit deeper, so we've got more room to roll. Okay. So if it's not curly enough, then just do it again. So that's the last one there. Alright, let's move that aside. Okay, so we've got, so it's basically going to go like so, right, from the biggest right down to the smallest. So now we want to position that in here. So if it's too long, then you can cut the tip of that. Okay? So this is where the, again, I probably prefer using the wet glue. Just dip that in. Or you can use your glue stick. So just position it however you think it looks best. You know, I think I like it that way. Right? And then the third one. So this, you just need to open that up a bit. Look at how this is going to fit, like so. just position however you want it. I think it looks better this way. Okay. And then put the glue on. Right. And so just the bottom bit. So try to align it so it's kind of like sitting upright in the middle. Just whack a bit of glue. Just push it down a little bit. Okay, so there's essentially the rose, all right, without the bottom layer, so it looks just like that. Okay, so now we're going to put the last layer, and as you can see, it will turn into that. Okay, so it gives a slight body, so the last layer has fills up all the petals in between it. Okay. So if you're doing bouquet, as I mentioned, you might want to stick the last one on for some of them if you want to give it a slight variation. Oops. And then just whack that straight on, and it'll naturally fall in place. Okay? And there you have it. Okay. And as I said, so that's it. If you want to display it in a vase or just on its own, it looks beautiful. Now, if you do want to put it in wire before the glue sets, make sure you either, pin it in. So as you see, the holes do close up. So you want to make sure you are feeding it through, okay? So that way, later on, when you do put your bouquet together, the floristry wires will will fit through the hole. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to put the floristry wire through. Okay? There you have it. So if you want to learn how to do do a bouquet, in the next video, I'll show you how to easily turn that